He asked me to meet him without lawyers, without documents, without any of the infrastructure I use to keep things professional. That should have been my first warning. The second was that I said yes. In 11 years of M&A work, I had never, not once, agreed to a one-on-one meeting with an opposing CEO without legal representation present. It was a fundamental rule. Not because I couldn't handle myself, because meetings without witnesses leave room for things that can't be documented, and in this business, what can't be documented doesn't exist. I called my lead counsel, Marcus. I told him I had a follow-up meeting. I didn't mention it was informal. I didn't mention the part about the lawyers. He asked if I needed him there. I said no. I put the phone down and looked at myself in the mirror for a long moment. What exactly are you doing? I put on the charcoal blazer, the one I wear when I don't want to look like I'm trying, and I went. His private office looked like it belonged to a person, not a company. That surprised me. Everything about CO Group's public spaces was designed to intimidate. This was different. There were books on the shelves, real books, worn spines, soft pages, a desk that was too modest for a $12 billion CEO, a photograph I couldn't quite make out. He poured tea before I sat down, didn't ask if I wanted any, set it in front of me like it was already decided. I noticed I didn't mind,
I'll be transparent with you,
he said, sitting across from me.
which is something I couldn't do yesterday with a room full of lawyers billing by the hour to be uncomfortable.
I almost smiled. I didn't. I'm listening, I said. He told me about his grandfather. Seo Won-soo built the company from a single logistics depot in Busan in 1971, 30 years before he saw a profit. A lifetime spent building something that would outlast him. Joon-ho grew up in that company. First internship at 16. Warehouse floor, an MBA from Wharton. Offers in New York, London. He took one, stayed 2 years, then came back,
I came back because it was right,
he said.
not because it was easy.
He looked at me steadily.
The logistics division is struggling. I know that. I also know why. And I know how to fix it. What I need is 18 months and autonomy, not a foreign capital firm placing directors on my board who have never set foot in Busan.
There it was. The real position. And it was reasonable. He wasn't asking me to abandon the deal. He was asking me to question who it served. And somewhere between the elevator yesterday and the tea already waiting for me this morning, I had started to wonder the same thing. We had been talking for nearly 2 hours when the conversation shifted. Not about the deal, about me,
I read your work.
he said.
Your restructuring of Meridian Holdings in 2021, the Apex Capital mediation, the Hong Kong arbitration case.
I went still. Those weren't high-profile cases, which meant he hadn't just been briefed. He had looked, deliberately, before I was ever assigned to this deal,
You have a very specific skill.
he said.
You find solutions that don't destroy what they fix. That's rare.
I didn't answer. I was recalibrating.
I'd like to make you a proposal, not on behalf of CO Group. Personally,
I said nothing.
I want to hire you, not as an adversary, as an independent advisor to build the restructuring plan for CO Logistics that I present to Halloway as an alternative to board placement.
A pause.
6 months. I'll pay your rate plus 40%. You report to no one but yourself.
The room went quiet. I thought about what accepting would mean. Marcus, Richard, 11 years of clean professional lines I had never crossed. I thought about the cases I was proud of, the ones where something was fixed, not just extracted. I thought about the elevator. What I should have been thinking about was why he knew my work before this deal ever reached me. But I wasn't thinking about that. Not yet. I'll need to think about it, I said.
Of course.
He stood, extended his hand. I took it. His hand was warm. He held mine 1 second longer than necessary. 1 second. I walked out into the gray soul afternoon and told myself I was a professional, that this was a business decision, that the fact he had researched me beforehand was interesting, explainable, nothing to be concerned about. I was wrong about all three. I had a conflict of interest. That was the clean version. The legal version. Taking an engagement from the opposing side mid-negotiation would be a breach of fiduciary duty. My license could be flagged. The deal could be challenged. Everything I had built in 11 years could be questioned because of one decision. I knew all of that. And still, I was walking through a palace courtyard in the middle of Seoul, seriously considering it. Because here was what I also knew. Holloway's plan would hollow out a company that didn't need hollowing. It would displace people, workers in Busan, managers, entire teams, all for a valuation bump that would benefit a handful of people in New York. I had done that math before, many times. I had always told myself, that was the market. Today, for the first time. I wasn't sure that was enough. My phone buzzed. Richard! I let it ring. That night, an email arrived. No sender. One attachment. A document that should not exist. And it had my client's name all over it.